Hey guys, what's up? It's Monkelzunky, and welcome to episode 3 of the Road to Visage. And I am doing QBD again. It's good money here. So my first drop was a Royal Sight, and the second drop that I got was a Royal Bolt Stabilizer. That was kind of nice. I did get quite a few of those. I think about 35 chests dry before I got another Royal item, but that's okay because they really are not worth very much anyway. And the next drop I got was the Royal Sight. And then this next drop coming up was kind of good and yet kind of bad at the same time. And that's because on this next chest, I open up the chest, I find a Draconic Visage. So that means the series is over, which sucks because I had heard the drop rate for a Draconic Visage was 1 out of 150 kills. And this was my 152nd, so it was just about bang on. So it kind of sucks because I was really hoping to make a bit more money from QBD and do it for a bit longer, but I got the Visage, which means I now have to go back to Glazors and focus on that series. But anyway, this is the entire loot tab that I got from all my QBD kills. As I said, it's only 152 kills, so if I had gotten a little more unlucky, which in this case I actually wanted to get more unlucky, I would have made more money, but unfortunately that just was not the case. Also, all the royal pieces, they say that they were, I think, around 250 to 300k each in the price check, but in reality they only sell for 75k each because they just crash so hard. They're completely useless because so many people do QBD versus not a whole lot of people that need royal crossbows. So I think the price check goes up to about 45 mil, but it's not quite 45 mil. I did not sell all the royal sights in the end just because they took a while to sell even when I put them down to like 100k each. So you'll see how much they sell for. You'll see how much this entire tab sells for in a lot, but it's not quite as much as what the price check says, which was a little unfortunate. I definitely would have recorded live commentary over this, but my house was kind of busy at the time, and I did need some money because I had pretty much, I think, 16k left in my bank, and I needed to repair my Dragors, so I had to sell this tab right away. If this had taken much longer, I would not have had enough money to repair my Dragors. So that's one high point that I can look at. So I'm just going to be selling everything in the tab here. The royal bolts are crashing, which I kind of expected, which is both a good and a bad thing because it means if I do use my royal crossbow for slayer tasks and such. So royal bolts being really cheap was an advantage. I probably could have just kept them, but since they only sold for about 1 mil anyway, but I just decided to sell them just to add to the total price check at the end, where I show you exactly how much money I made. I did make a fair amount from here, so I'm going to be able to put, I think, most of this money towards smithing. Smithing is the only Bible that I have left, because I have all the planks for 99 construction banked already, so I don't need any money for that. So smithing is really the only skill that I still need some money for. This is not going to get me all the way there with the method I'm training because I'm going to be smelting iron ingot 3s in the artisan's workshop, and it's about 6.5 or 7 GP per XP, something around there. So I don't quite have enough after selling all this stuff, but I will be close, and once I finish the Glazor series and sell the loot from that, I will have enough to afford 99 smithing. So that's something that I'm really excited about. And also, I'm just holding on selling the brews and restores because I decided to decant them. Unfortunately, a Ceradoman Brew 4 is like 500 GP or something like that. They're just really not worth anything. I don't even know why people bought them. I guess they're kind of useful as like a super defense potion or something like that. But other than that, there's really no reason to buy them. So I'm surprised they even sold at all. That just kind of sucks because I remember brews being 13k each, 14k each, something like that. This was back, like, I think a couple years ago, but I do remember when brews were that expensive because I used to flip them when they're about 13, 14k each. So it's just kind of amazing like how much they've crashed since then, and just all the QBD loots. Honestly, if I had started doing this like when Dragors first came out, obviously I couldn't afford Dragors back then, but if I had started doing that back then, I would have made so much more money. But yeah, it's just once Dragors came out, so many people started doing QBD, and as you can see, I'm putting them in for like 150k each, and they still don't sell. So I was a bit discouraged by that, but they did end up selling for, I think, around 75k each. The royal pieces did at least, and then the Dragon Bow upgrade kit sold for a bit more. So the Visage, here's the final thing that I'm going to be selling. The big one, the Visage, and it sold for just about medium price. So luckily that hasn't crashed too hard. Well, I say that's like 1.2 mil. I can't remember when a Visage was ever that cheap, but luckily the Visage isn't worthless quite yet, although it might get there pretty soon, considering how many people do QBD and how common Visages are. So I'm going to be showing the total amount of cash that I got from QBD in just a second. I can't remember if I actually sell the royal pieces or not. I might have held on to them to sell a bit later. I might just put them in for 10k each. I'm not sure. At this point, I was like, what are royal pieces like 10k each? Because I really wasn't sure. I was expecting the worst. But of course, this means just for anyone that does royal crossbow and has difficulty killing the QBD, because you have to kill the QBD to forge the royal crossbow initially. If you want to, you can always just use the 4 royal pieces to repair the crossbow, and that might be a valid option just because the royal pieces are so cheap anyway. You can literally buy them for 50k overnight with some patience. So if you have difficulty killing the QBD, you can always just buy the 4 royal pieces for like 200, 300k, and that way you don't have to kill the QBD again to repair your crossbow. So that's, I guess, the one good thing about royal pieces being so cheap. But I add the coins to my pouch, and we come out with 38.8 mil, or nearly 38.9 mil, and then I got a couple 100k from the rest of the royal pieces selling. It really wasn't very much. So roughly about 39 mil made from QBD, and I would say about 2.5 days of killing her. And 2.5 days is like 2 hardcore days, like 6 hours of killing QBD, and then 1 day when I killed her for maybe 3-4 hours. So that is a lot of money made, even with all the prices of stuff crashing. But anyway, thanks for watching this video, guys, and stay tuned for future series. And that is all, and farewell.